Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Studs. I'm your host Mark. Today I'm joined by Chris and Joe. And today on this rainy day we're going to be talking about all the amazing LEGO Modulars. But not just talking about them, we'll be ranking them on a scale of 1 to 10 each, compiling the scores and finding out which is the best LEGO Modular building so far. We actually have every single modular except one, which we'll talk about in just a second. But the only one that's in the box is the Cafe Corner. The rest of them are built that we got in the collection recently. And this has happened a couple times the last few months.
Yeah, it actually has, yeah.
Gotten all the modulars together. That's pretty exciting. So we thought we'd take this opportunity to talk about them.
Yeah.
So. Now, what's your experience with LEGO Modulars before we dive in? Chris, you have seen all the modulars. You've traded them, bought them. Yeah. What's your thoughts on them?
Well, I've had them, through my hands, each one, I don't know, multiple times.
Yes,
I've had, right now we have 2 sealed cafe corners. I know we've had other sealed cafe corners. We've had built cafe corners.
We had one like last week.
I've had them set up at my house in my Lego city that I built a train around. I've done a lot with modulars, and we even have a lot of our own custom modulars here as well.
Yes, very nice. What about you, Joe?
I just have to echo that. We get them in and trade all the time. They go out really quick. Modulars are always popular. And some people will just go, oh, you know what, I don't have the room anymore. And then someone's like, oh, well, I need all of them. So they go in and out all the time.
Yeah, we actually, we had the gentleman just trade the full set in, and starting with the green grocer, and that's, kind of what inspired us. Hey, let's do a video and rank these suckers, right?
Absolutely.
But he's not selling them, he's trading them.
Yeah.
And he got, give or take a couple of modulars, he got over $4,000 in store credit out there. I added it up twice, and I'm like, man, that seems like a lot of money.
That's a decent
like
used car.
Toys R Us shopping spree.
Yeah.
So he's getting some good stuff out there,
and probably a lot of shelf space too. If you were to display all the modulars together, it's quite a undertaking.
And his whole reason, he hated to get rid of them. He's a huge Lego fan, which is why he wanted to store credit. But it's just space, and this was one thing he decided he was gonna recycle.
Absolutely, make some space, get some new sets. Like you said, a spending spree and a let it go. That's a pretty good day. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, but let's begin with the first modular we have on the table here. This is the one of the sealed cafe corners we have right now. We're going to block off Chris and me here, but this is what we consider to be the first modular. Yes. However, there is an asterisk there because the factory Market Street set, which is also kind of considered a modular, was also released the same year.
2007.
Yeah, 2007, which is a long time ago now that we think about it, but. So this is a really cool set. It made some waves, and it clearly created a great series that LEGO's done since then, and has made some big, substantial sets that people really got to collect. So, but this is the grandpappy of them all, Cafe Corner. It even shows
you only need to get 6 of them.
Yeah, you only needed 6 of them to make that building here. So.
It's a pretty amazing building.
It does look fantastic, but
the color
can't get
scheme
6 anymore.
Yeah, no, it would be a major flex to have 6 of these now, but. The color scheme is what catches my eye now, but back then it was just such a bigger, grander set than anything LEGO had ever made. So, definitely very cool set. What's your guys' 1 through 10 on this one? How does it sit with you years later?
It's still one of the better modulars. It obviously has some outdated techniques and such, but I'd honestly give this one a 7 out of 10. Yeah. It's a very solid start, really good for its time. Yeah. And it still can stand up with, some of them from today. And honestly, what I'm factoring into is how collectible it is and how desirable it is. It's slightly
that makes, if you own this, it's a flex. It's cool.
It is.
So that kind of factors in too. So I would have to go with, I think I'm going to have to go with a 7 too. I was going to say 6, but the collectability really puts it up there for me. Yeah. One thing that keeps it down to a 7 is the fact that it doesn't have any interior details.
Yeah, that does hurt.
That was something they were trying to encourage you to do on your own, and now they do it all for you, and it looks amazing. Yeah. What do you think, Chris? What's your score?
Well, one of the things is the interior. You're right. That brings it down a little bit. The minifigures bring it down a little bit. However, it's kind of a circumstance of its time. Yeah. You didn't have really detailed minifigures in 2007. So they gave you each one of these minifigures that it comes with is just a smiley face.
Pretty generic.
Every single modular they come out with pretty much just has generic minifigures. Nothing super exclusive to that set. They did put the skis on this in the front. You know, they're letting you know it's a coffee shop as well, the corner cafe, and it's a hotel, of course. So it's very well thought out. Some of the other ones, they've just put the second and third floors as you figured out.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, if this had the interior done, it would probably be, I would say it would be a 9.
Yeah, definitely. With
But
interior.
given no interior, I would say a 7. We got one of these built one time.
Yeah.
Just looked normal, right? And we open it up and look on the inside, and the guy had built King Arthur and the Round Table on the inside, and it had Lord of the Rings figures sitting around it. And
That's amazing.
Oh, good thing we looked in here. You never know what you're going to find inside a modular.
Yeah.
Now, it is cool that they let you build it yourself, the
it's
interior.
a neat idea, but people don't want to.
However, you can clear out the interior of any of these and build it yourself.
Yeah, that's something you can totally do without having to get new pieces to fill it in. But
back to the smiley faces real quick. That was something that they started with because of the time, but then they stuck with it, and they did it for all the modulars until
the diner, right?
That's correct. The diner was the first one that didn't just have the generic smiley face.
But they're still very generic city figures.
They are very
aren't
generic
that
figures,
they aren't that
but
special.
they have given them more detailed.
I remember that was a slightly controversial decision. We'll get to that soon. Yeah. So.
What'd you give it, Mark?
7s all around.
Okay,
I think.
that one got a
Average
7.
score of 7.
Nice.
Very
Not
good.
bad.
I like
Wait, let me get my calculator out and figure that out.
Yeah, that is a
7 plus 7 plus 7 divided by 3 equals 7.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I like it.
Average score of 7.
Perfect.
All
right. Let's. So the next one would be the Green Grocer, then, right?
Market Street.
Oh, Market Street.
We do
yeah.
need to.
We need to discuss
touch on it.
Yeah.
That's the one we don't have either boxed or built right now. It is quite rare. It's pretty expensive.
It is.
It's a cool looking set, but it's got some weaknesses, especially given that it's kind of the asterisk of factory, and was it the first one? Not really. So, what are your thoughts on the Market Street, guys?
Well, since Joe's busy doing something over there,
He's cleaning it off a little bit.
Let's talk about the Market Street here. Another one we've had come through a lot. In fact, I think we got one sitting down in the basement somewhere. But
we could.
The colors bring it up a little bit. The
sand
what color blue is that? It's not
Kind of
sand.
no,
it's not.
It's medium
It's
blue.
not sand.
So
It
the
looks like
colors,
sand,
especially for its
not,
time, were very special.
Yeah.
But the building itself is just
kind of
really mid. So I'm gonna go mid 5.
Yeah, rare, but got some weaknesses for sure. One problem I had was it's the same width as all the other modulars,
It's half a building.
but it's half a building and then has like a little courtyard, which is kind of cool, but kind of breaks up the city skyline a little
put
for
that
me.
with something else, it goes.
It's a bit of an indentation that kind of distracts. So for me, that brings it down a little bit. I'm gonna have to go 4 on this one, just because of that indentation. But there are some cool aspects to this set, and if you want the complete collection, you really have to have it. Even though it's kind of like, is it a factory? Is it a modular?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's half a building, really. Not great looking building. No interior. 4.
Okay.
So I was thinking 4 all the way with that one.
So this building here, this would be in your ghetto.
Yeah.
It really
it's
would.
outside of the main
Maybe
street.
on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah,
it could
definitely
be,
on the
absolutely.
other side.
So Market Street gets a little bit of a pass from us.
It's just
but
it's not the best. And it's also, you see all these modular boxes beside each other. It's like, okay, modular. Factory box is like this. So it goes modular box,
yeah.
factory box.
I think
it
isn't it
doesn't
less
look like it
pieces
fits.
too? Yeah, it's like 1,000 less pieces than the other ones
it's
nearby.
much
So
smaller,
yeah.
so it's barely a modular in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it just sneaks in there.
Exactly. Well, so a little bit of a dunk on Market Street, but let's move on to the third modular. This is definitely the third one because the first 2 were in the same year. Green Grocer.
I would have to say this is more iconic and popular than Cafe Corner.
I agree. From how we've dealt with it, people ask for this way more than Cafe Corner.
Yeah.
Now people definitely ask for Cafe Corner, but not compared to the amount of times they ask about this.
I do see this one more often, and I think that's because more people bought it new.
Exactly.
So, and this is one that I remember seeing coming out in the magazines for years, and I was like, I want that set so bad. I built my own version of it with blue and black, and it didn't look half as good, but this is a cool set. So. Let's see if we can get the floors up. There you go. Detailed-ish interiors. That one looks a little empty.
I don't know about ish. Yeah, I don't know about detailed at all.
It only has the bottom has something.
It's got some stuff down there.
You know, I do like that it has the stairs. Sometimes Lego buildings will not have
like, how do they
any
get in
way
and
to
out?
get upstairs or downstairs. Not only does this have the interior stairs, but it's got the fire escape.
Which goes here to the window. Oh, actually, that's really cool.
Yeah, radiator.
That's really neat.
Radiator.
Yeah.
You can tell this is an old set
Yeah.
back when they had radiators.
Exactly.
You know, back in the 1800s.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I don't love about modulars is they always leave this back area just plain. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty
And
bland.
even up to the downtown diner, the diner was plain. And every time I look at it, I'm like, wait, is something missing back here? But it's not.
That front is so beautiful, though. I think it's a classic building. I gotta go solid 9 on this one. I think it's one of my favorite modulars.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And, you know, again, it's 2008, so their colors are even more limited than today. But they
Sand green,
really killed it with the colors. They didn't have much to work with. They still did it.
Oh, I didn't realize it was this part either. That 2x2 with the...
That is an extremely expensive piece because it only came in this set, I believe. So
I didn't notice that.
You've got the printed Viking runes up here, which I never really understood why they used that part, just other than it's decorative.
it's probably the only printed 1x4 tile they had at the time. So
And it just doesn't make sense to me, but it's fine.
It
I
does
don't
look
care.
cool.
It looks awesome. And then, I mean, everything about this front is just so detailed, and you've got like a way to pass through the building, like in a city. You've got your mailboxes here, and what are these things called?
it's a sextant.
Yeah.
Sextant. Yeah. You know, everything about it is really neat and something you'd see in a city. So, is there any reason I can't give this a 10?
Not really. If you like it well enough, I give it a 9, just short of perfection, because the interiors are a little bit sparse on the top floors. But other than that, I think it's a really solid build.
The only thing that I would have to say is the blue in the front on the awning. There's something about it that just doesn't line up.
Yeah.
That and no interior, I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay. So, still a very solid score. A little bit higher than the Cafe Corner for us. So. What do you think of Joe?
It's actually grown on me since I stared at it here right now because I'm noticing more and more things like the curtains in the window. Great touch. It looks very great. And then, you know, passing through the building with your mailbox is there, super neat.
Yeah, that's a full pass through. I didn't realize that. So.
I do like this one. I definitely think there's room for improvement though, especially with interior. So I'm gonna say an 8 out of 10.
Gotcha. So highest score so far.
Yeah. Now comparing that to Cafe Corner, I'm surprised I like this one actually more because I've always thought that was a better one. But now looking at it, it is actually better in my opinion.
Probably a little better than Cafe Corner, just because they were...
And it does have some interior as well.
Starting to lay the foundations for what a juggernaut modulars would be with this set. Cafe Corner started it. This is like, oh wow, this is serious. So.
And I think we need to change what people call this. It's called the Green Grocer. I think we need to change the name to the Sand Green Grocer.
You're right.
We need to be accurate here at Atlanta Brick Code TV. So yes, the Sand Green Grocer.
Let's change the name. From now on, this thing is called the Sand Green Grocer.
And if you call it the Green Grocer, you're wrong.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What's a green grocer? Oh, you mean the Sand Green Grocer. Oh, I know that one.
We'll be checking everyone at the door with that one. All right, so let me grab the next one. What's the next one we're grabbing?
Fire Brigade.
I'll go get it here. All right, so we've got the Fire Brigade here. This was number 4 so far.
2009, the very next year from the Green Grocer.
Yeah, they didn't skip a beat on that one. They wanted to keep this series going. So this one is very cool. It actually has... The whole building is devoted to a single civic function, which was protecting the people from fire. So the fire department has a cool vehicle. I think we can have it come on if the door rolls up. There you go.
That is a good one.
Classic fire truck. You got a tree, and they all are having this little lamppost here to kind of keep the sidewalk the same. They're falling into a groove here, and I like it. So, golden bell up here, some fun details. What are your thoughts on the Fire Brigade? Start with Joe this time.
All right. I mean, this is a very well-designed building. The brick looks like brick, with the dark red and the gray overlapping. The 1932 is a great touch. They designed that real well. You can read it. It looks like 1932.
Mm-hmm.
So
lettering is very hard to do in Lego. So.
And also 2000. What was this? 8? No, 9.
Yeah.
That's a pretty advanced technique for that time.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that they didn't just use the front grill here. They also used it on the windows. So it's just a good part usage.
Little flourish up there.
Down and used it. And this one is one that I think looks better when you spin it around than most of them, because the back has the back entrance there, and the back windows are all designed, and then you can see it's got this water tower up top. The bell is really good.
Roof access. Yep.
So I think this is a very well designed set for what it is. It's very popular. This is one people ask about a lot.
Yep.
Now, interior-wise, what we got? What are we looking at?
You got a pool table. No, not pool table.
This is a lot more interior than before.
Fireman's hose.
Ping pong table.
It's got a fridge.
Firemen play ping pong.
Yep.
When they're
not on call.
Fires.
Yeah.
Nice big fridge. There's the figures stuff here. I think more details. You got the garage door over the hangar here.
This is a great designed room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd give this one an 8 out of 10 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not my favorite, but that is also just
It's a solid
personal
entry.
It is a very good set though, very well designed. Starting to get better in the interior as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a more furnished interior is a really cool step in the right direction, I think.
Although actually, you know what? I can't say this is better than Cafe Corner in my opinion, so I gotta say 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I do still like Cafe better than that.
Drop it down here.
As far as the outside, but the interior makes up for it.
You're entitled to your own opinion, Joe.
I am. I've heard.
All right, so something I really like about this is the fire truck. I mean, they added the fire truck, and it's like a older, classic-looking fire truck. Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish they had given it better torsos. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those. Those are classic Lego fire torsos, but give them something unique to make it more collectible. Like they do with a lot of the, the NASA astronauts have. The NASA logo on them.
Yeah, badges.
They look like your regular old astronauts from your space sets. However, there's just something different about them. And I wish they would have done a little more customization with that. But that's the same way with all of the sets, so I'm going to overlook that.
All the figures are plain, yeah.
Yeah. You've got an American flag up here.
Yeah.
Yep. Or maybe the Texas flag? No, I don't know. It's a patriotic flag, yes.
Which is surprising. I wonder if other countries had different releases.
Maybe,
I don't know.
You get like a French flag or a British flag.
That is interesting. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that. Let us know if you have any insight on that.
Yeah, all of our Danish and New Zealand and all the other viewers, let us know. So.
Also, 1932. Do you guys know the significance of that?
Is that when Columbus sailed the ocean blue?
No.
Oh my gosh, Mark.
It just rhymes, right? No,
1932.
I don't. So let's put that up to our viewers to
maybe
let
Morgan
us know what 1932 signifies on the building. But it's cool that it says that. If you go in any downtown, they have that on there.
It's very true.
Do you see that today on these modern buildings?
Not really.
No.
They just built a town hall in Tyrone, and they did put that on there, and it's weird because I'm not used to that in modern buildings. It established 2021, I think is what it is. It says it on there.
Usually you'll see it on Cornerstone or something, and down in the corner.
But I love it up big. It's cool. It's like, oh wow, that building was made 5 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 50 years ago,
or a long time ago.
That's almost 100 years ago.
That's crazy.
And usually Lego designers will put an Easter egg in there like that. So it has to mean something. I just don't know what. Also, you got the number 3 firehouse here. That could be significant of something.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with this. I mean, I think it's amazing. You've got the water tower up here because it's a fire department.
Detailed inside.
Got to have that. You've got some old doors back here to make it look like a 1932 building. Kind of like your classic castle or barn doors or something like that. Roundabout doors. They even gave you some cutouts in the back. It's not just the plain base plate. They gave you the little patches of grass and walkways.
Yeah, gravel paths,
your driveway to get in and out of the building. They have put so much into this. I don't think they could have done anything better. They decorated the interior for you. with the ping pong table and everything. They gave you ideas for that. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10.
There you go.
Nice.
That is a very high score. I think I'm following in you guys' footsteps a little bit. This is a really solid entry. It just kept the modulars full steam ahead. My favorite thing of this is probably actually that dark red brick texture with the tiles facing outwards. We really hadn't seen it in any sets to this level at all before. So this is really standing out to me from an architecture standpoint. And all the other details are great. I got to go a 9. The only reason I'm not giving it a perfect score is because this tree is weak.
Yeah, that tree is
That's my only critique, really. And maybe the figures are a little plain as usual, but that's not really its fault.
I'm not judging based off the figures.
The one thing is they've made a lot better trees in the last 10 years since this was made. So
look at Rivendell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Rivendell trees are amazing. And actually some of the latest modulars, their trees are still kind of getting there. They're pretty good. Though. But yeah, so that's the one maybe, if you could even call it a critique. But yeah, still love this building a lot. And then moving on to the next one.
Well, the next one's going to be the Grand Emporium.
Very grand LEGO set here.
Grand entrance. See, it's funny because it's the Grand Emporium, so it's a grand entrance. You get it, Mark?
I do.
Because it's grand.
Does this cost $1,000 yet?
Not yet.
Not quite.
Sealed it might.
Yeah, that's true. Sealed it probably is.
So this is the Grand Emporium. This is the next one in the line. What year was this one? Would it be 2009?
2010.
10. Yeah.
That was a good year for LEGO. A lot of really good stuff came out.
A resurgent period leading up to the, early, late 2000s. So yeah, so it was, this is a cool set. It's got some big fancy lettering up front. Can't miss it. Shop.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Little rounded awnings here. Very cool new dark green pieces. Dark green and tan, cool color scheme.
This is a cool design. This was really neat.
An elaborate tile design outside the doorway. Revolving door.
Yeah, those are awesome. Every time I'm in a place with a revolving door, I go through that at least twice.
And it really spins really well.
Yeah, it doesn't get stuck at all. That's really cool, actually.
This would be a good feature for a city to have the motor hooked up to
that would be
continuously spin.
Absolutely. And you got these cool flower pots. You got an ice cream stand outside. A window
washer is a great detail. I love that a lot.
It really is.
The billboard encouraging you to buy gifts for your friends.
It's great. I mean, the face is a little creepy, but the thought's there.
Yeah, we got to look at what's inside.
I also love this. It's got this skylight, but a huge one.
Huge skylight. Yeah.
Chandelier.
Parts are
toy shop there.
It looks pretty nice for basic parts. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy walking around with a pair of pants on, and is he not wearing any pants?
No, he's changing his pants,
Honey, where's my pants?
Yeah, honestly, that could be what inspired the Where's My Pants guy.
You never know. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a register there, the escalators. Some pretty good details overall. I love there's hundreds of dark green windows here. That's pretty cool looking.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. The revolving door is fun.
A little back entrance. This one has almost no space in the back.
Does it have a back entrance?
Due to its corner design, you have only a tiny little gap out there.
Oh yeah,
which you can see.
Which is actually really cool.
Yeah,
it's a great detail to get.
Just a little nook on the back to let people out of the building. So.
And again, as we've seen on every single one of these buildings, rare dark colors.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got dark blue, dark green,
and in some weird pieces like
early
the
dark tan.
Are amazing.
Yeah. And tan back then was rare too.
Yeah, dark tan though, that definitely was rare.
That revolving door is a lot of fun.
That is super fun.
Yeah, this is a solid score for me. I got to give it an 8. I think that the interior it's a hard thing to accomplish a grand shopping emporium in a modular size. This is normally like a Dillard-sized building that's really big. So they've condensed it well, but it's still got a few little, growing pains. So I think it's a great building, though. The billboard's awesome, so got to give it a solid 8.
Dillard's is down here in the south and possibly in other areas of the country. Mm-hmm. I know up in the Mid-Atlantic we didn't have Dillard's growing up.
That's kind of a southeast thing, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a big mall, shopping mall.
Yeah, maybe a Macy's.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, yeah, what are you guys thinking? Let's start with Chris. What's your opinions on the Grand Emporium?
This has always stood out. I don't think they could have done anything better.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 10.
There you go.
He's throwing out those 10s willy-nilly.
Chris is happy with these modulars. These are the iconic ones.
They are.
Very collectible.
So. Yeah, that's fair. I really like this one a lot too. I think the outside of it's a new level. A lot more tiling. The shop sign is like, you look at it, you're like, oh, it says shop, but like the design of it using the clips on that bent, whatever that, I forget what those are called.
Flex tube.
Flex tube. That's a great detail. I love that they added the window washer. I mean, that just makes it a fun, it looks like it's in a city.
Yeah.
The billboard. The only thing I can take away from it is the interior kind of lackluster. It's there.
It's a little
Not
minimized.
great. So I'd say 9 out of 10 on this one.
Okay, there you go. Solid scores.
I can see that you giving it a 9 because the window washer can't go up and down.
He's stuck
And then
there
how does he go
eternally.
side to side? It's like, ooh, let me climb up the road and move it over this way one stud, you know?
It's not a playset,
You
Chris.
can't, it's not safe.
Yeah, it isn't safe.
So
He doesn't have any safety
And
equipment. He's going to fall.
What year was this building made?
11?
Oh, I don't know. This one was 1932. This one doesn't have a date on it.
Flower.
So,
It has a flower, though.
yeah, if you want to find the criticism with it, I mean, you
Yeah,
can.
no, I just can't give it a perfect score.
No, it's good. All right. All these modulars have been good. I think we'll actually get to some that are maybe less than perfect later on. We'll see. I think that overall high scores, we'll see.
All right, let's grab the next.
Next few modulars coming up. So the next in the series is one that we see a lot in the store. It's the pet shop.
Wow, this one must be expensive.
Yes. Well actually, it depends. I think this is still an affordable
It's
one.
one of the cheapest old modulars.
Yeah.
Or not one, it is the cheapest of the old modulars.
And one interesting thing about this design was you could just
Boom.
arrange
Switch
it
them
however you want to.
Which was a lot of fun, and we actually get singular buildings in all the time, too.
I think that's a really good idea.
It's a good idea that they split them. It's annoying when we get one in, because most people aren't looking for one.
It is. It can be annoying if you separate one shoe from the other, but
Exactly.
I think that is a new concept for them, making two half buildings to make a whole. So.
Well, because sometimes you want to wear your shoes on the opposite feet, right?
Exactly.
I did that when I was younger.
The metaphor is breaking down now.
I broke it. You're welcome.
So I think good color schemes. I like the flowers in the front, more lettering. You got a rounded window up here, dark red roofs. Just a couple nice details, but something is maybe missing. I don't know. It's missing the grandiose nature of the Grand Emporium or the simplistic yet refined details of the Fire Brigade. It's cool. It's got the colors,
Back
got the
is
detail.
really horrible.
Back is pretty plain. Yeah, what are you guys thinking? I'm kind of like not sure on this one. So.
Let's check the interior.
It's
out
good.
As well.
It's good. We'll put it at that. It's above average.
Yeah.
For sure. Again, they use you got these awesome colors that especially at the time were super rare. And what was nice is when you saw a bulk Lego lot and it had these colors in it, it was like, oh, there's the pet shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
That sand blue is a beautiful color.
And reddish brown.
You got your basics in here. You got your couch, your coffee mug, your hat rack.
Flower pot.
At this time, they didn't have a whole lot of animals. They got a dog, the parrots, a frog, and a cat.
And if they want, there's a mouse outside.
Yeah, there's a mouse out back.
If they could catch it.
Is there anything underneath those roofs?
Let's see. The roofs come off, but it's basically just a little bed and a balcony there.
It's a loft. That is pretty
I mean,
cool.
That's another detail.
The plain back definitely detracts a little bit to me. And then up here, they've got an entire row of studs. It looks like they could have done something with that.
Even a tile or something, right?
And they've already had, kind of like you said, Mark, they've had fancier buildings. And not all buildings have to be fancy. But these are expert models, and they should have a little more to them. Like this empty spot up here. This is all empty up here. This one has a skylight, which is
that's
nice.
good. Yeah.
But it is missing a few things.
And then there's also this. I mean, have you seen anything like this before?
Yeah, that has been done before.
The green grocer had a even better, one of those curved windows.
And the cafe corner used those skis in the front. And this looks cool. That looks great. Don't get me wrong. But it's already been done. Teach me some new building techniques here.
I think the window especially is one of the reasons I don't like it, because the green grocer did it first, and they just reused it in the exact same spot.
This is also the same awning color that we saw.
That's true in the green grocer.
That might be intentional to match, but
maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should match.
Yeah. Anyway, so definitely some weaknesses. I'm actually gonna. When I look at this building, I'm neither disappointed nor excited. Yeah. So with that in mind, I'm gonna have to give it a 5, Because it's like, I'm neutral. It's in modular. It's good. And it hasn't gone up in collectability, so that's going to be kind of a lower than average score for me. And I think, Joe, you were thinking about the same lines there. So.
Yeah, when this comes in, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Any other modular, or most other modulars come in, it's like, oh, nice. You know, that's a cool one. This one comes in, I'm just like, eh.
So it doesn't excite you to the level of the other modulars?
I don't go, ew, that's disgusting. It does have some good techniques. So, I'm pretty neutral as well. So I'd say 5.
Yeah.
I can't love this set. I never will.
I obviously I'm a little more optimistic than you guys are.
We're pretty critical. We've hung around Daniel too much.
Yeah. Colors are still good. They've got the pet sign. They've got the stairs, which are really neat. And although we've seen it before, the window is still cool looking.
Yeah, that's true.
The interior's not bad.
Interior's pretty good.
And not every building in your city could be a knockout.
That's true.
You got to have some that just kind of blend in. And this is your first really standalone apartment or house.
It's just a house.
Maybe.
You're right. Yeah, there's nothing else to it. So.
And as just a house, it looks good. So I think that's considered a brownstone. Is what they call that in the city.
Yep.
And the fact that it separates, I think, it should have at least given you guys a 6.
Yeah.
I
gotcha. Okay.
And I'm gonna put this up there. It's hard to say. So we gave the cafe corner a 7. It's hard to put it up there with the cafe corner.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go 6 on this. 6.5.
6.5. Okay. 6.5. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the staple modulars, but it might not be the one that people are like. Maybe it's not their white whale.
No.
So, yeah. We'll move that aside and get started on the next one here. This one is a white whale for some collectors.
A lot
of
people. So. This is definitely one of the.
And when I say white whale, I mean one that they're really trying to collect. That's an expression in the LEGO community we've coined. So.
And we had a gentleman in from Charlotte this week who came in to get this.
Yeah.
And we didn't have it. And that was, what's today? Thursday. He came in Tuesday.
Yeah.
2 days later, if you wait around long enough, it'll come in.
That's why I tell people when they're like, hey, when are we going to get this in? I'm like, literally, we could get it in a week. We could get it in tomorrow or a year. Like, you just never know.
Okay, so this is the Town Hall, and it came out in 2012.
One of the biggest modulars.
1891.
Oh,
so
different date.
We come back with a different date as well. But again, same styling.
1891 is such an odd date. Now, the only reason I could see that they did it randomly is because it fits very well in the space.
Honestly, and that's probably the same reason they did 1932, is it just was like, oh, we can do these numbers.
That's lucky letters, yeah.
But I am guessing, I would put money on it, that date is significant to something.
It is possible.
Yeah. So only the designer could tell you that, I guess.
Cool rounded windows on the top.
Using the
garage doors,
yeah. Smart technique.
A big printed clock piece on the front. I think that's possibly from Harry Potter or some other set line, but it looks really cool there. A unique shield print.
That is pretty cool. With some croissants.
Set exclusive.
I mean, croissant.
Croissant, yeah. You got the mayor. These cool...
The columns are well done.
I love these
Those
Greek,
are very well
Roman-style columns here. It's classical columns. These are looking really good.
A pretty good technique.
Dark orange, textured bricks.
Yeah.
This is a very solid build. It's not one that I think of when I think of modulars, but it's a big, cool modular building. So.
Well, kind of like the pet shop. The pet shop was on the market for a while. They had a high production run of that. I don't think they produced as many of these.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, actually. You've got the mayor's acting like a king. Look at his chair.
He's got a grand...
the rest of the people don't even get to have a back on their chair.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they discontinued this before the pet shop, even though it came out a year
I
later.
believe you're right on that, Chris. We'll have to
Pet
maybe
shop
have someone
stayed around a long
fact check
time.
us on that, but yeah. So. Yeah, there's another one of those shields, I think. Let me see.
And also this right here.
Yeah, that's it.
This is a elevator that goes all the way throughout, and then it locks in place on the back. So you can have it actually working. So that's one of the things I love about modulars, is they're not just buildings that have a staircase that goes into the roof, and then there's a next layer. It actually makes it where you could walk through this building and get to each different spot. So this one, they didn't have room for stairs, so they added an elevator.
It's super cool. They even have a little doorway on the roof just in case people get stuck and the fire people have to come get them out, the firemen and firewomen. So. And this one is standing out to me more than the pet shop, so I think I got to give it a solid 7, just because I think it's a little bit square. I like to see that asymmetry. This one's a little bit head-on, kind of big, brutal building, but it's got some really good designs, so I think it's on par with the Cafe Corner in my mind. So.
No, that's fair. I think this is a good building. It's a lot bigger than a lot of other
huge,
ones. It's
yeah.
huge, what's the part count on this one?
Almost 3,000?
Yeah, almost 3,000, which the next one close to that is the Green Grocer, which is 400 less parts still. So it's a lot more parts than most of the other modulars. It's a great color. The dark orange is a good color. It's
again,
not too much.
A rare color again.
Yeah,
especially
and
for
a
its
lot
time.
of it too.
Yeah.
Now, I do like the outside, especially the bottom. Up here, I mean, it's supposed to be about the same. It just, isn't crazy appealing. But I'd say this is a 7 out of 10 for me as well. I think it looks great. The interior is good too.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with this.
Yeah.
Looking at it, there's really nothing wrong. The back is kind of par for the course with all the others. It's just a little plain. It's a little bit bigger building, so you don't have as much stuff. But you've got access hatch to the basement. You've got a door here.
Vines.
The elevator function.
Yeah,
which
that's nice.
Definitely brings it up.
Yeah, you just.
And the vines they've added, which is a nice little touch. And then at least they filled it in with windows. And what's important about the windows and the skylights that you're seeing on all these modulars is that it allows light inside, so you can see it from the outside. And if you actually put lights in here,
then it looks really good.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I think we have light kits for these. I don't see that they did anything wrong with this thing. What was my last 10 out of 10? That was the Grand Emporium. Let me compare it to the Grand Emporium. The Grand Emporium really stands out because it's a corner building.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just a straight building, which you need more straight buildings in a city, right?
You do.
So, given that, I'm going to give this a 9.5.
Yeah. Solid. Absolutely.
I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Another great entry.
Set. Yeah. And this is definitely, as far as collectability goes, this is one of those. It's up there. It jumps way past the pet shop and the emporium and the fire brigade. It's worth more than all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Which were before it. So.
Yeah. I mean, the Grand Emporium might be called the Grand Emporium.
That's actually.
But this one actually costs $1,000.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's about right.
Alrighty, but we'll put this very valuable building to the side and get the next one here. The next building we'll talk about here is the Palace Cinema. This has a special place for me. Yeah, I think this is a cool one.
This is pretty
good. They're all cool, right?
That's
but
fair.
This is a cool one, right? So it's a movie theater. It's a corner building. So we've seen a couple corners now. You've got a pretty warm, bright color scheme. A very unusual Lego font with the palace.
Very different. Using the Technic bricks as the O hole.
You've got a lot of stickers in the form of posters and signage, which they look cool, but they're not fun to apply.
Stickers are never fun.
It's kind of a double-edged sword there. Yeah, some great details. What are some of the things that are standing out to you guys? Let's start with Joe.
I feel like this actually starts the second generation. Like I feel like there was a point they hit, and I think the town hall was the last one before it, where all of them started to look like the newer sets. If you compare this to the ones that just came out, it kind of stands right there with them as far as the style, because they're using newer parts. Like, I mean, I know this has been around before, but
Ninjago size.
it's just starting to use some different techniques and stuff. It just looks newer, in my opinion. And I think this was the first one of those that kind of stood out to me as like, oh, this looks like it could come out this year.
It has a very modern look.
It also, I think, has a really good interior. Let's open that up.
Let's check it out.
I'm pretty sure this one, I mean, it's got a whole theater room with
projector.
What the heck is playing?
Is anything playing on the screen?
Yeah, look at that. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It just looks like a musical.
Yeah,
like a Shirley
very
Temple
old
style movie.
music
And they're dancing Lego bricks, actually.
Are they
really?
I didn't notice that.
That's something.
Oh, that is funny.
That's something like retro cinema for sure.
This also has a red base plate, which is pretty wacky.
And they leave it exposed in the floor, which
so
I
I
think
guess
is
they're
cool.
trying to be like red carpet, which makes sense for a fancy cinema.
You got the vending areas.
And the ticket booths with the outdoor thing and a way to actually slide your money in and out, which is super cool.
That's true. And I haven't said anything about minifigs, but like that's a pretty good minifigure right there.
Yeah.
You know, he's there to open the door for you.
Yeah.
Drive your car, valet. Which the doors are pretty good. They can get stuck on the tiles and such, but I think they
it's
look
not a
good.
revolving door, but it is a cool big door. So
Yeah, revolving doors are definitely the coolest.
Yeah, this is a fun set. I think they did a lot of unique things with it. I think it definitely breaks the mold of the other modulars quite a bit.
One critique I do actually have is the red floor. Not because it's red, but because they've tiled so many other floors.
Yeah.
And it just looks kind of hideous.
Yeah,
it stands out.
They are part
like
saving
a
little
something.
bit. Yeah,
like that red on the bottom is like, whoa.
They could have been a tan carpet. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't have had a problem with it. It just stands out, so I notice it more.
Okay, so there is a building in Hollywood, I believe, that is similar to this. It's the it's got that Asian feel to it.
Yeah.
The cinema, the
this
theater
roof.
That's there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very.
And then you've got your Hollywood stars out front, and it might be dated to the 1960s and 70s where they had a shag carpet on the inside.
It is
so
possible.
that could be representing that shag carpet.
Yeah, that would be an amazing yet terrible choice for a movie theater interior with the popcorn and the drinks getting spilled on it. But that's funny.
Starring mini figure. That's funny.
Mini spelled M-I-N-N-I-E.
That's funny.
That's funny.
That's pretty good.
That is, yeah. 3 clicks and a snap.
Are they talking about brown?
Possibly. All I know is
or dark red.
And the brick separator is a horror movie, big monster movie.
Yeah, that is a fun
There's some really funny little jokes in here. The designers are having a great time making these billboards.
Yeah, and like you said, this sign is way different than any of the ones they've done before.
The lights look cool.
And I think it's a good set. It's not like my favorite by far, but it is good techniques. It looks good on the outside, and the corners do kind of have that extra, helping of their corner, so there's more exterior, so you see more, and you're like, wow, this looks really good.
Yeah, nothing on the back.
There's
no
just
back
nothing on the
entrance.
back.
No fire escapes.
You can't critique the back because there's no back to critique.
Yeah. Actually, I would say that's a point down because it just doesn't have space anymore.
The whole point of that is like if you put this with a modular on that side and that side, there's no space for a bag. So I'd say this is a 7 out of 10.
There you go. Yeah.
I do like it a lot, but it's not my top. And Brickmaster Amy would agree that there's just too much tan, right?
Yeah, it does have a very warm color scheme. I got to go a little higher. I got to go 8. But there's a lot of stickers. There are a few weaknesses. The back isn't as polished as some that we'll get to later. But I think this is a really good modular, a good part of the series. Better figures, I think.
That's true.
A little more character with the stickers and stories. But yeah, there's a few things I would probably think can be improved eventually, like in a future iteration or version of this. So.
The inside is great. No problems there.
Yep.
The back, this has a lot going for it because it's a corner, like Joe said. It's it's hard to go wrong with it because you have so much more room to work with. Nothing to critique back here because it's going to be pressed up against the other buildings. The stickers I think work for it.
Yeah,
in a positive way.
They're good.
You'd mentioned it might have too many stickers, but it's just the nature of the building, I think, and they still did do the brick built palace, which looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a 9 and a half.
Yeah.
And what stops it for me from being a 10 is the roof.
Yeah.
Is just,
it doesn't look great.
It's just plain.
A little empty in the back.
There. There's so much you could do up here. You know. Now, if it were me, I would make probably a base for snipers or something.
Exactly.
I'm an action.
That's fair.
Guy.
That's
Be a Batman hideout. Yeah.
Batman hideout. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would make a great secret lair for a superhero.
You're right.
So I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Yeah, a solid entry to the modular line for sure. Still love that sign.
And then they have light kits, third-party light kits for this sign,
which look great.
Those are bomb
They're
diggity.
absolutely amazing. Bomb diggity.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Next one in the line.
Parisian.
How many have we gone through now with the Parisian restaurant? How many? What number is this in the line?
Okay. Oh gosh, let's see.
We've moved on here.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
This is number 9.
So 9 total modulars. This is pretty.
And this is 2014, and every year they've come out with one, except that first year.
This
in
is halfway.
2007.
So we're halfway through the series.
Get out of here. Only
Yeah, this one and the
halfway.
next one are the halfway points.
And one thing you can tell from this one is there is a lot more color options for the designers. There's more parts. They're starting to really diversify their ability to, create different shapes. LEGO is evolving rapidly in the 2013 through 15, 16, and you can see that start to make sense here. This was designed by Jamie Berard. So
I didn't
he, I think, not sure what other ones he designed. I think he designed a couple other ones too. But this is when he's starting to really employ some cool techniques. You got gates used as the little arbor above the eating area.
It's actually got the plants on top of it, which is really cool.
You got plants. I love olive green.
Yeah, it's a great color.
This is the early use of that color.
And dark blue on the roof.
Dark blue on the roof. The sleek curved.
They used the
feather,
feathers
yeah,
there,
beautiful
which
technique.
the Green Grocer had those feathers.
They
right?
had those on
so
the
it's
top.
almost like a nod to the Green
It's
Grocer.
like, hey, we can use this and do a different thing with it.
These shells and croissants would be like you mentioned, Joe. They're in the white color all together.
That's what I'd say. When you see the croissants on the town hall, they're still the same color as an actual croissant, so it looks like it's just a croissant. This isn't white, so it just gives that architectural feel to it, and it's like, oh, that's a good part usage in a different color.
And I'm a sucker for cool plants, and this has got cool plants on all sides of the building.
The back is great too.
This is probably the most detailed back so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Because you got an eating area in the back with lights. You've got a dumpster. You got a rat, and then it's a little plain right here, but you got a whole balcony and walkway up to the top floor. A cool chimney.
Yeah, that is very well designed.
This has an indentation, but I think it's a really good use of an indentation.
I agree.
So, yeah. Let's look at the inside before we number this one up here. So it looks like an apartment.
Yeah, look at that. Hinges open.
An artist studio.
That actually is pretty nice. I don't know what he's painting, but maybe it's modern art.
Yeah.
Cubism.
Exactly. LEGO artists.
An open furnace, too.
That's cool.
That's pretty neat. You can close up the furnace. So that's actually a pretty good... They don't have a lot of space up there. They did a pretty good job with that.
So this has not only curtains, but a full dining area, a fully detailed kitchen.
This is one of my favorite interiors.
This is a really solid interior. It has a wine cabinet over here. So.
Yeah.
The first floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
The second floor is actually
There's not a lot in it, is there?
Pretty plain.
It's just a sitting area.
Little apartment, maybe. Oh, a fold-down bed.
So it's the studio.
That's cool.
That's
I
actually
did not know that.
That made it better.
Yeah.
So that's actually really cool.
Yeah. So some really good designs.
Painter, he's got his studio and then his apartment underneath.
Maybe the chef is also a painter. I don't know. So
looks like somebody's proposing. I hope she says yes.
That's like you proposing to.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Is that Laura and you there, Joe? There you go.
This is really cool because that's something you see in a fancy restaurant. It's
menu.
The menu outside the door.
Was that exclusive to this set? It looks like
I'm sure it was.
I think so. And you got I think these
chef
may or may not be stickers.
That's a sticker. Yeah.
That's a sticker. Yeah.
Chez Albert.
Nice.
I wonder
fancy.
what the significance of that is.
Guy who made the set was named Albert.
Well, actually, it was Jamie. So.
Jamie designed it, so maybe he knew a chef that was named Albert, and he really wanted to feature him.
Jamie Albert Berard.
That's the one.
That's him. Exactly. Now this has got some hidden details in here that I really am enjoying.
The kitchen is awesome.
Phenomenal.
With the tiled floor, with the 1x1 tiles.
It's got dishes stacked up.
Yeah. Just like a restaurant would have.
This is one of my favorite modulars.
Yeah, it definitely was a step up from the other great modulars we've seen in the past. So.
And then there's actually several plants. Like there's this one leaf plant here, and then there's a couple here that are using the sword piece or the knife piece. That's what it was used for. Now they use it for a lot of stuff, but at this point they mostly only use that as an actual weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is one of my favorites. I love olive green. I got to go 9 in this one just because fully detailed interior, detailed back. We've criticized a few buildings on the back. Fun characters. You got the chef. You got the artist studio. Solid 9 for me. What do you guys think?
9.5 on this one.
9.5.
This has always been one of my favorites.
One of your faves,
It's so good. The interior is very well designed, and it just got to step up with the folding bed. Like that's even cooler than I knew it was.
Yep. How you feeling about this one, Chris?
My only critique that I have with this really is this patio is super cool. It is really, really neat. But when you go to line it up with other buildings,
we'll just try it right now. With
it does cut out.
Well, not only does it
put it next to the
so
cinema.
It cuts out, but then it allows you to see the exposed blank wall of the other building, so that almost makes it not line up very well with other buildings.
I understand that.
Do you get that?
I see that. I don't agree with it.
So it doesn't really fit the modular style as well as some of the other ones do. It needed to fix that somehow.
Somehow there's a gap there.
And to me, that just kind of, with the whole modular idea, with them all matching up, it just really throws a kink in it. So, I mean, that knocks it down to like an 8.5 to me.
There you
honestly.
go. Understood, yeah.
It's functionality, and you got to revamp your whole city in order to make this fit.
Yeah. It's fitting within the system does really matter for a modular series. That's what it's called, modular. It's not even called city buildings. It's called modular. So, alrighty, let's move on to the next few here. All right, so if the Parisian restaurant was number 9 in this series, right?
This is number 10, and this is the other halfway point. So there's 18, I think, so far.
Gotcha.
So this is 9 and 10.
Perfect. All right. This is basically still in that halfway point.
Yeah.
And honestly, like we were saying as we were moving them,
kind of peak.
kind of the iconic era of modulars. The Cafe Corner Green Grocer started it off.
Yeah.
Town Hall and Fire Brigade kept it going. This is after Parisian restaurant.
Right.
Things are
good stuff.
Bonkers. Man. This is great.
She's not supposed to be here.
I think Jacob threw that in there for
Jacob.
But this appears to have 3 separate buildings going on, so that's kind of a new thing, especially for a single block. You got the cool lettering with the pool sign. You got some awnings.
Brickman, private detector.
You're getting some cool window stickers, like some signage there. You got another water tower, but I like this design a little better than the last one. I mean, it's
the tiles around look good.
Yeah. You got multiple doorways and little bridges and balconies.
And like Chris said on the Green Grocer, this has that walkthrough. You know, you're going through the city, you can walk through there.
Yep.
You know, after owls, you go through in between.
You got to have a meeting in the alley for your detective work, you know? So
hey, I know some good stuff.
So, some fun details with the Unikitty
That's
tails.
True. Actually, was that before they ever used it as Unikitty?
This would have been about the same time.
2015.
So Unikitty,
they did make that part for Unikitty, and someone was like,
perfect use.
There's another really cool part used in this we can talk about as well on the roof. It's right there on the front. The Bionicle or Hero Factory fists.
Yeah.
That's what those are.
It's pretty cool.
I did not realize.
See how good that looks?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I have never realized that. That
insane.
Is cool.
So a simple looking building, but when you look a little closer, those details are pretty crazy.
Also, this has a very great interior as well. There's a lot going on. There's got his full
fan to keep him cool. That's the first time I've seen that.
He's just always so hot going after.
You actually have a toilet.
That's a
some
plus.
of them have been lacking.
Yeah, this is a solid building, solid characters.
And then, you know, you got the little awnings. Also, this technique right here, the ball joints, using that as the column, pretty neat.
Yeah.
Also, pool, you know, that's another really good design.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this part existed at that point.
More lettering with the owls. That's more like the classic lettering that you see in the older modulars. So.
I wonder who Al is.
It's true.
There's a nod on. I really bet there's a nod on all of them.
That's awesome. Yeah. One of the more iconic modulars. I know this is very high on Grumpy Jay's to acquire list one day.
That's
so
funny.
One day, hopefully he'll get a good deal on one.
Don't wait too long.
Yeah.
The longer you wait,
you got the barber. I don't know what you call that.
The spiral.
It's got a name.
Candy pole.
Yeah, that might be it.
The stripe.
Extremely iconic.
But it is. It's a very iconic barber thing.
The back's a little plain.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's not bad. It's just a little plain compared to maybe like the Parisian.
This is another one that has a unique color of a base plate. It's got that brown, the reddish brown base plate, which is quite an odd color usage.
I think it's a good color for an alleyway back
I agree.
there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, you got to have those secret detective meetings.
So really solid. I'm gonna have to give this a 9.
I know why you can't give it a 10.
Exactly. I literally was like, this tree is still a little weak. I do like the pot. That's a cool pot. But the tree it's a pretty weak tree. And they're focusing on other things. I get it, but it's a 9. It's a really solid entry. What do you think, Chris? What's your thoughts on this one?
The pot is Chopper from
Rebels.
That's his
unprinted version.
And this would have been about the time Rebels was
2015
coming out.
is when Rebels came out.
Yeah. So that's neat that they're using so many interesting pieces in this.
That barnacle fish.
You've got this almost like ticks all the boxes. Who says that? Brickman.
Yeah.
You've got your lettering on the pool sign. You've got your lettering in owls. You've got good use of stickers with Ace Brickman
characters.
The Highlander, and those are printed.
I think they're printed on the windows.
On there, so in that regard, I don't know if there are any stickers. The interior is perfect. The only problem I have is the roof's fine. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with the roof. The back, just like the diner and the others, it would have been nice if they had just put something there. It would have been easy to do.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all that's wrong with it. So I'm going to go with a 9 on that.
Yep. It's one of the solid modular buildings for sure.
Just like I said, the Parisian was one of my favorites. This is the other of one of those favorites. So I'd have to give this a 9.5. I want to give it a perfect 10. But the back is not great to look at. But other than that, it is very cool. If I owned a modular, it would probably be this or the Parisian.
Yeah. 2 very amazing modulars and very high score. I think this is one of the highest scored ones so far.
This one's doing pretty good.
They're all doing pretty good. This is doing particularly good. So.
Time for another corner.
And another good modular too, honestly.
So. Yeah. So now we're going into the second half here.
So we're into the latter half slightly.
The brick bank.
Yes.
It's not just a bank, it's the brick bank.
And more diversity of parts, and I think colors too. You got some sand green making a return.
Yeah, you've got it on this roof here too in the skylight, this is another thing. That's kind of like that window that is in the green grocer. And it uses the same color as well, but it's used as a skylight.
A chandelier under that.
That is a beautiful chandelier.
Improved chandelier maybe even. So.
Yeah, see?
The only problem with that, and I know
down.
it does hinge though, so you can set it down.
But
that
a lot of
way,
times you'll set it down and break it.
I mean, because it's made to come off, so
yeah, that's always something a lot of people forget about, and then they put
less
it down.
modular. Yes. Get off that first floor. There's the banker's office. You got a little chimney in there.
I'll use her. There's a demo in a second.
The bank vault is really cool.
And it actually is a lock, so you can't open that unless you twist it and open it.
Oh!
So it actually has a locking function, so you have to twist the vault door to open
That's
it.
fun.
And then the teller's desks are very cool. You know, you've got the glass
very
zipper,
secure.
The little entry where you can hand stuff through.
Got a little inkwell right there.
Write your check.
Yeah, that is cool.
When you put these all on top, there's a little entryway for this guy to jump through. Any person. I think it comes with someone who's kind of a little bit suspicious looking.
Yep.
And it goes down there, down through there past the chimney, and then he goes right onto the top.
And he can break into the bank.
Breaks right into the top of the bank.
But how's he get out?
I thought there was a way for them to get out.
Burst out the glass doors.
I mean, to be fair, once you got your money, quick escape, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Let me just fix that.
Flee the scene of the crime.
But I did think there was a way for them to get out through the laundromat, but
the windows are great. Those are again printed, and they're like kind of printed stained glass.
Yeah, you got a little bit of brick built stained glass above them too. Nice winged little angelic figure above the doorway. Looks pretty cool.
So this is a typewriter. It looks like is what that's meant to be.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
Because got a cool clock in the corner.
Also a coffee machine. You gotta stay hydrated.
Oh yeah, greatly improved tree design from one iteration. It's already way cooler looking tree.
And it's really the same amount of parts.
It is.
Yeah. It's not very many more.
They've just used a flower sprue there too to connect some green flower pieces and stick some leaves on it, and it just looks great. So
now banks, old bank buildings like this quite often have dates on them, so I'm surprised this one doesn't have a date.
No date, but cool friends keys going on here. The elves keys.
Wow.
That's true.
Yeah,
The elves,
I never
and
saw
then
that.
these are those pulleys.
Zip lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got another pulley here because back in the day, this is how they got furniture up into big
That's
buildings.
true, actually. Yeah.
On the second floor, which I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah, and then there's the frosting as well there.
Yep, little
frosting.
spiral pieces.
Also, that bench is really nice. Very well designed.
Fancy bench. The ingot pieces being used as brick texture out here. So there's a lot of advanced stuff similar to how we had in the detective's office.
You can see by looking at the back how many colors are going on in the interior, which is quite fun. But it's a corner, so it doesn't matter.
Gets
You're
a
not gonna
little bit of a
see
pass.
that, yeah.
I think corners get a little higher rating from me at least because they don't have the back to bring it down.
Also, these are claws, so they're just using a lot of weapons and stuff that you wouldn't expect to be architecture. Recolor it, and it is.
Yeah.
You just have to put it in right.
Fully tiled interior flooring.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
I think this one gets us a 9.5 for me. The only reason it's not perfect is because I just feel like there's the roof, the back, maybe just a little bit, but I don't know. It's so good otherwise, though. I'm just being fastidious at this point, so yeah. But,
I'd say I'm going to give this a 9. Now, it's a really good all-around thing, but the bank security is a little laggy.
Okay.
They have this open
chimney
that they can just jump right through down to the vault. But then on the other hand, whoever designed the set didn't want the robbers to get out. Like, come on, if they're gonna have a plan to jump through, they got to have an exit plan. So,
that's true.
No, those are just nitpicky things. But I don't think I can quite give it a 10. But it is a fantastic set.
I give it a 10.
There you go.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
So this is probably the highest scored one
true.
so far.
Not too bad.
Very good building. And really, like, modulars, they're unstoppable at this point. They still are, but this is just fantastic.
I don't know if we said it or not, but this came out in 2016.
Yeah. So techniques and pieces are starting to get really good at this point. Hey! We've been talking for an hour already. We gotta dial this back, cut this short into 2 parts. We'll be posting the next part tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys then. However, if you're a member already paying 99 cents a month, you can watch the uninterrupted version by clicking a link below, or maybe even a clickable thing up in the sky. We'll see if that shows up. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you with part 2 tomorrow.